Hello. My name is Mark. Today is like a slow news, and there's nothing on the web. Kind of bored, and then saw a reaction video about why everybody and everyone hates Charlotte Flair so much. Shout out to Kicking with Ross. I think that's the first person I saw like this video, and then I check out this channel. This channel, it's Wrestling Revival. They made the video. It was like 3 weeks ago, but I'm checking it now. I'm that late, but I don't care. But let's listen why people hate Charlotte Flair.
For Charlotte Flair isn't rooted in a lack of talent. No one can deny her athleticism, her presence, or her lineage. But that's exactly where the issue begins. Charlotte Flair isn't resented because she's a bad performer. She's resented because WWE has consistently forced the audience to accept her as
Yeah, but if you look at what happened, especially last WrestleMania, I mean it was like couple weeks ago, but felt like it was yesterday. Like if you look, what I say, like last year, no, it was like last week. Felt like yesterday. And if you look, the Royal Rumble win, people are happy. I think if you listen to it, people happy. But more and more weeks or just after that, people seems to hate her. And when she was returning to the ring, especially trying to do promo, everybody boo her. The thing is that Charlotte Flair, if you listen to what you said, that the girl, this woman, is so much talented. But the thing that everybody hates about her is just that she getting push, pushed to the moon every single time. She just uh not doing any one contender match or just championship eliminator match where she grind hit all the way from the bottom to the top. But no, she stays on top. No matter who's the champion at that time, Charlotte Flair will be there, uh, getting that VIP tickets. No waiting in the waiting room or in that uh, line of like every wrestler. But I will tell again to giving you, not giving you, just going back to the video, okay? And then I'm giving my more thoughts.
the centerpiece of the women's division, whether they wanted it or not. Her path to the top hasn't felt earned. It's felt inevitable, and after more than a decade of it, fans have stopped seeing her as a competitor and started seeing her as a symbol of everything wrong with WWE's booking philosophy. It's not jealousy, it's exhaustion. Charlotte's first Royal Rumble win in 2020 was already controversial. It was tone-deaf booking at a time when so many other women were on the rise.
Yeah, especially everybody wanted Io or Liv to win, which I agree. I think they could do something, but if you look at the storyline, we don't want to do Liv and Rhea again. And I know Liv could do something with Tiffany, but to me it's too early. But I want. Do I want to see it? Absolutely. I think we could see like Liv and Tiffany Stratton early, but I want to see them like feud later down the line. Not this year, maybe next year. But if it's this year, then I'm okay with it. But with Liv kind of like doing other things now, she's doing movies and stuff. I think Liv should have won, or Io should have won, or any other wrestler. Roxanne could be like a big surprise if she won, like an NXT talent that never got called up wins or won the Royal Rumble would be surprised. The thing that is wrong with Charlotte Flair is just the name, the Flair. That's why WWE like put her in that top spot, no matter she just not doing alright or just after getting injured. She's gonna be on the line, the first line, just the first pick for everything, which is to me it just sucks. By the way, But as a Flair, Charlotte Flair she should be the voice of like, no, I don't want to be that. After all the championship that she gained, I think she should be the voice of the leader of the writing in character. That no, I don't want to be on the top spot. She and Becky Lynch are like the most powerful in my opinion. That they can remove themselves or just put someone over easily. For Becky, she did it. I think she put Lara over, but I don't agree with how she won at WrestleMania. I think Lara should pin should have pinned Liv or Raquel at WrestleMania. I don't agree that Becky pinning Liv at WrestleMania, and then the next day they lose, and then we progress the story. I don't like it. I don't think that's a good decision. A good decision make Becky turn heel at WrestleMania. I wouldn't mind. Same with John Cena turning heel at WrestleMania. I wouldn't mind. It would be a big freaking surprise. But for Charlotte, especially in Charlotte and Becky, they are the top superstar in WWE, especially in women's division. They could do say they have like a politics or politicking. I think they could do it, especially if trying to push someone. Becky had like wants to put Shayna to win, but she just follow what her boss said, which is sucks. I think she could just fight Vince over it and then put Shayna over, but it is what it is. But back in Charlotte, I think WWE. I know WWE have been planning her to win the Royal Rumble, but I don't agree. Put her, even though she should climbing her way. Now that we have mid division, I think WWE could put her in there in that spot for a while, for at least 2 years, in my opinion.
Shayna Baszler had dominated in NXT and tore through the Rumble like a monster. All the signs pointed to her being crowned the new unstoppable force.
And then WWE made her lose to Charlotte, and then she win all the thing, or just all kind of like squash all the member of the roster in Elimination Chamber, and then she lost. Vince, oh my god.
But WWE, in its usual fashion, pivoted back to safety. Charlotte won, again, and instead of choosing a high-profile match on the grandest stage of them all, she decided to go after the NXT Championship, a move that...
To be honest, I really don't mind because I felt like at the time, Charlotte kind of like did it all, and with how NXT doing kind of like still doing great, that's why I think she chose NXT champion. Do I hate it? Did I hate it? I don't know. Back in the day, I just don't know, and not never. I didn't watch a lot of WWE back then, especially 2019, like the worst year in WWE. But at the end of that 20, we WWE entering 2020 and smooth sailing. The return of Edge, Drew McIntyre won Royal Rumble. I mean, and then shit happens and pandemic happened. But it was like entering a new stage of like good things though after a messy year.
that not only baffled
Oh yeah, and then NXT treated as the third brand. I forgot to mention that.
fans, but damaged the very brand it was supposed to elevate. Her victory over Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 36 didn't create a new star. It crushed one. Ripley's momentum never...
I don't know about this one. Yes, I think because with how NXT was good back then and treated as like third brand. If you remember Survivor Series, that NXT crushed Raw and SmackDown. I think it's good to put like Charlotte there, especially to make sure that Raw and SmackDown have like a different type of star they can elevate. I think putting Charlotte. I know Rhea getting kind of like pushed away sucks, but if you know, you know. Down the line, Rhea bounced back, and then rest of history. But it's not hindsight 2020. I understand. Yes, put NXT just it's like something for like the next generation of superstar. But putting Charlotte there, I could see just they're wanting more out of like put more eyes on NXT. But I don't know.
fully recovered until years later, and even then, she had to claw her way out from under the shadow Charlotte left behind. The Royal Rumble is supposed to be a moment of rebirth, a platform to catapult new stars to the main event. Instead, it became another trophy on Charlotte's mantle, another statistic to pad her legacy. And the same story repeated itself when she returned again and again from injury or hiatus, only to be immediately slotted back.
Thank God that's Tiffany win. I didn't watch a lot of the matches though. I don't remember, and because I was too busy looking at phone, because I don't know at that time. I thought Tiffany and Charlotte could made a banger match, but it felt lackluster. There's no fire on it. The fire between the woman is just, I don't feel it.
Into the title picture. Every time Charlotte was gone, the division breathed. It allowed other women like Bayley, Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair, or Becky Lynch to
Shout out to
explore
all women.
long-term
All the women.
storylines and character arcs. But the second Charlotte returned, everything reset. The division stopped revolving around fresh dynamics and pivoted once more around her gravitational pull. That kind of repetitive hierarchy killed momentum for anyone not named Flair. Her repeated title wins are perhaps the most glaring source of resentment. 16 recognized reigns, many of which felt completely hollow, rushed, or designed solely to inflate her resume to match or surpass her father's legacy.
Yeah, I think that's the point, right? Just even though right now John Cena break Ric Flair's record, I could see Charlotte breaking that later down the line. I don't know when, but it's going to happen. I think she could surpass John Cena title reign at this point. She's still kind of young, and like if she didn't get injury or nothing, 18 could be there really soon.
What should have been a storied climb filled with iconic feuds became a checklist. Title wins, followed by short transitional reigns, followed by more wins. The championship
If you remember that the Charlotte versus Sasha Banks, oh my god, back and forth title win. What is it? The pay per view like Sasha winning and then Charlotte win, Sasha win. Oh man, I watched that. I was like confused. What the fuck is going on with the booking? It was like start padding at that point, man.
stopped meaning anything when she held them. They were props, used not to tell a story or reflect a rivalry, but to validate her placement as the top of the division, regardless of whether the audience cared. It's not even about her being heel or babyface. Charlotte's alignment doesn't matter anymore because the crowd reaction is always the same: apathy or rejection. When she's booked as a heel, she doesn't feel like a cunning villain. She feels like management's favorite pet, gleefully toying with people she knows the company won't let beat her clean. When she's booked as a face, the disconnect grows even stronger. No one buys Charlotte as the underdog or as someone who needs to prove herself.
Yeah, she's a Flair. I think she doesn't need to be an underdog. She cannot be. She's just overrated. At this time, she's just overrated. Her father's name, her time with the legacy of her father. Even though she kind of built her own legacy, but at this point, just both of them legacy just intertwine. We cannot separate it. At this point, we cannot separate it.
Story arc that paints her as someone overcoming adversity feels dishonest. The adversity isn't real, and the stakes never last long. WWE's refusal to let her lose in meaningful ways has stripped her of any real character growth. When Asuka's legendary undefeated streak came to an end at WrestleMania 34, it was
Yeah, this one. Oh my god, I was mad because I felt like Asuka. I wouldn't mind Charlotte defeat her. I wouldn't mind, but at WrestleMania, She was to be supposed to be the undefeated, and I wouldn't mind Charlotte just thrown her later down the line. But at WrestleMania, dog, after all she went through, defeating everybody and then lose to Charlotte, it's just disappointing. It just sucked.
Charlotte who broke it. And while the match was good, the decision was tone deaf. Asuka was the hottest women's act
Facts.
in WWE,
Yeah,
built
so
over
bad.
years of dominance in
So
NXT
bad.
and then SmackDown. That streak wasn't just a gimmick, it was the foundation of her mystique. But WWE sacrificed it on the altar of Charlotte's myth-making. It wasn't to elevate a new talent. It was to enhance the legacy of someone who had already been champion multiple times. And the aftermath of that decision was telling. Asuka floundered,
Yep.
and Charlotte moved
Yeah,
on.
Asuka career just ups and downs, and then hopefully she can return this year. I would like to see her, man, doing some different stuff. I know she's going to put to be in the tech division, which is
Barely acknowledging the weight of the moment she was given. Time and again, Charlotte's opponents are forced to sell the idea that she's the mountain to climb, the final boss of the division. But the
Yep.
audience stopped buying that long ago. Not because she isn't credible, but because credibility needs resistance. It needs stakes, and Charlotte never has to struggle. Her
Yeah,
obstacles
she
are
never had,
brief.
like,
Her
stakes
losses
and
are
everything.
rare.
especially
And her returns-
with the Ronda Rousey one. Oh my God, I wish that Becky was the one who just trying to do something with Ronda, but Charlotte has to interject with everything, which is shockish.
always lead straight to gold. Compare that to the way the four horsewomen rose together. Sasha had to scratch and claw for everything. Bayley had to reinvent herself as a heel to be taken seriously. Becky had to organically
Yeah, out of four horsewomen, Charlotte didn't have any trials and tribulation. Every single member have to do trials and tribulation, which is it is what it is, man.
catch fire with the crowd before being pushed. Charlotte never needed to do any of that. She was given
Yep.
the keys from
Oh
day
man, that WrestleMania, man. I wish it was just two women.
one. Even outside kayfabe, the optics are frustrating. Whenever Charlotte is gone, WWE does everything in its power to maintain interest in the division. But when she's back, the promotion becomes lazy. Instead of investing
Yep.
in new stories or characters, they default to Flair versus whoever.
It's Vince
uninspired
too. I
booking
think
that stifles
Vince
creativity
and Charlotte
and leaves
should
the
be-
fans feeling robbed of variety.
Especially
You can
Charlotte
name
should
almost
fight
any major
over.
female star of the last decade, and chances are Charlotte has beaten them, often in unearned fashion, with minimal build. That pattern kills anticipation, it kills narrative tension, and it kills trust in the company's willingness to truly elevate anyone else. There's also the issue of how WWE centers its branding around her. Promotional material, interviews, legacy packages, they all push the same narrative. Charlotte Flair is the greatest women's wrestler of all time. But greatness isn't
I mean, in ring talent, I think she is one of the best, one of the greatest of all time. But everything around her, no, I don't think so.
declared. It's felt. It's earned through storytelling, not tally marks. WWE's obsession with crowning her queen has overshadowed the organic rise of women like Bianca Belair, who actually connected with fans in ways Charlotte never could. Belair
Yeah, I think it's WWE's fault to put her in that situation. I think most of the time WWE could not pandering to Charlotte and pivot to Charlotte to everything. They could just put her in the situation where they could write a story about Charlotte trying to fix everything, not being on the top of the mountain, just grinding, face the best of the best, trying her best to do everything to make sure that people respect her. It could be an interesting storyline, but no. Championship after championship.
Belair's journey was emotional. It resonated. When she won the Rumble and went on to headline WrestleMania 37, the crowd felt every moment. Charlotte's second Rumble win didn't feel like that. It felt like deja vu. The constant returns only worsen the perception. She'll vanish for months, sometimes due to injury or personal reasons, and then come back into a championship match as if nothing changed. No rebuilding phase. No earning her spot. Just a coronation waiting to happen. That kind of booking tells fans that their investment in the week-to-week product doesn't matter, that wins and losses don't matter. that nothing anyone else does can override management's chosen one. It's
Look at the look at her face of like disappointment and everything.
telling that whenever Charlotte is out of the picture, the women's division flourishes with energy. Feuds like Becky versus Bianca, Bayley's Damage Cutterell
Control.
saga, or Rhea Ripley's dominance have all
Yeah, Charlotte wasn't there for that most of, if I remember. Yeah, most of that time, Charlotte wasn't there. Charlotte doing her thing, if I remember, or whatever she was doing. WWE was exciting when she was away. It's just magic coming back to that division. Yeah, I think it was like WWE and Charlotte's fault, in my honest opinion. Oh, that's why currently I think WWE not doing okay now with the women's division. Currently, not like past couple of years. No, currently they have like talent pool. Even though I'm still kind of like disappointed with the releases of people.
all felt fresh because they weren't orbiting Charlotte.
Yep.
There's freedom in her absence, but her presence always brings things back to the same cycle. Title match, title win, short feud, disappearance, rinse, repeat. Her character has also been one-dimensional for years. While others evolved, Charlotte remained static. Sasha explored her ego and vulnerability. Bayley became a delusional narcissist. Becky went from anti-authority rebel to cynical veteran. Charlotte has always just been the queen. No emotional arcs,
Nepo
no
queen.
real development. Just the same regality, the same superiority complex, and the same booking. Fans crave depth, and Charlotte's presentation lacks it. The crown she wears became a barrier to growth, not a symbol of power. Even the way WWE uses commentary and production to frame her hurts her image. Matches are called as if she's already legendary, with every chop or moonsault treated like a generational moment. That kind of manufactured reverence feels disconnected from reality. Fans don't like being told who to worship. They like discovering greatness for themselves. With Charlotte, that discovery was never allowed. WWE pre-packaged her legend and demanded you accept it. And then there's the Royal Rumble 2024 situation. When she returned as a surprise entrant,
After getting injured.
again,
Is
after
that
months
Anthony
away,
Bones?
the live crowd's reaction was ice cold. Not
No, I think some people kind of like still cheer, but yeah, I don't remember much of it.
because they didn't know who she was, but because they did. The pop wasn't there. The electricity was missing. She eliminated a series of rising stars to make it to the final four. There's a reason why fans have rallied behind women like Liv Morgan, or Piper Niven, or Shotzi.
Yeah, shout out to Shotzi. Cannot wait to see her in 90 days.
Despite them not having Charlotte's pedigree, it's because those women feel real. Their struggles feel authentic.
Yeah.
Their wins matter.
They have to grind their way to the top. Shout just WWE giving her like special ticket.
Because they're rare and fought for. Charlotte's wins feel administrative, like WWE checking a box. She doesn't need to climb the mountain because she owns the map. And that disconnect between effort and reward is what drives the backlash. There's also a generational gap in perception. Fans who grew up with the women's revolution wanted change. They wanted long-term storytelling, multiple women in top spots, and believable mid-card feuds. But Charlotte's era of dominance kept narrowing the lens. Everything returned to her. Even when the division grew, she stood in the center like a monument WWE refused to move around. And the longer that lasted, the more resentment built. Every championship she wins is met with groans, not cheers.
Yeah, but still respect her as a talent. Yeah, but just everything, just character. Yeah, nobody like respect that at all.
Every return is met with suspicion, not excitement. Not because Charlotte Flair isn't capable, but because WWE has never let her prove she needs to be. They gave her the mountaintop and never asked her to climb, and the fans noticed. What makes the prospect of Charlotte Flair winning at WrestleMania 41 feel so unbearable to fans isn't just the tired repetition of her victories, it's the symbolism of what that win would represent. WrestleMania is supposed to be the culmination of long-term storytelling, the payoff for emotionally.
Yeah, especially the thing is that if you look like the Cody, especially WrestleMania 39, and his winning, him winning, not his winning, him winning Royal Rumble 2023 felt like, yeah, I wish he was at number 10 or number 11 or number 10. I want to see him like number 4 or 5, it would be amazing. But he was in number 30, which I kind of dislike about that. Kind of hate it because I felt like it would be amazing that he came early and then fought everybody in that ring, just put his heart, his soul on that ring, and then winning. And then it felt like something big could be given to us. But for me, it just kind of like ruined the magic. And number 30, Cody. But after he got injured, then I understand though why WWE put him on number 30. For Charlotte, number 27, and then beat everybody. It's like no, no sir, no sir. It was like nah. Why would you do that? I felt like Roxanne could win. It would be like a surprise and something like WWE never done. But they pivot to Charlotte, which is suck.
Charged arcs, the crowning of new stars, or the final triumphs of fan favorites who earned their moment through grit and resilience.
Yep.
Charlotte winning once again, especially on a stage like
Like the John Cena meme, like John Cena win, lol. Like Charlotte win, lol.
WrestleMania 41, doesn't feel like a story peaking. It feels like a corporation stamping its seal of approval on a legacy it's forced the audience to
She was the original Roman Reigns before Roman Reigns. Is that thing that people going to compare that? Is that ever been asked, or just people put her in that spot? Has anyone said that before? Like, she was the original Roman Reigns before Roman Reigns.
accept whether they wanted it or not. This isn't about discrediting her in-ring skills. Everyone agrees Charlotte is elite between the ropes. Her athleticism is world-class, and her performances are often technically sound. But wrestling has never just been about execution. It's about connection. It's about journey. It's about making the audience feel something. And for years, Charlotte has lacked that connection, because the audience isn't being invited along for the ride. They're being told where it ends, before the story even starts. That's why the reaction to her WrestleMania...
Yeah, after this, hopefully, I want to see her be a true heel, fight everybody, challenge everybody, no matter what it is. Challenge. I need Charlotte to challenge herself to be something like, I want to fight the best. I'm even though she's a heel, but make her like this dominant force, or just trying to fight everybody. I think we could get story there. I don't know how to write her. To be honest, I don't know. But I felt like with the story where she just put in the mountaintop every single time. This time, put her in the mid card, challenge everybody, let her win like the United States champion, challenge everybody, make a story between maybe Zelina Vega or Chelsea Green down the line, Piper Niven, Alba Fire. I don't care. Everybody, put her in that situation where she fight everybody and then pinpoint which one deserve to be in that spot for maybe a trilogy or whatever. I don't care. I think it's give like Charlotte like a time to develop a new character, because I think this Nepo Queen or whatever it is not clicking right now. Everybody's kind of like knowing the knowledge and the past of the previous or history of Charlotte Flair. I think they don't want to see that, but I know people will have like some hate towards that decision if I was put in the WWE creative and put Charlotte in the mid card and then holding the United States title for like maybe 400 days. Yes, I understand, but put pinpoints, just pick some random people, Zelina Vega or any other the new NXT call up later down the line. Pinpoint who's going to face Charlotte every single week. I don't know, or every single month. I don't know. Just pinpoint and then have like this character battle. No more shooting. Charlotte, be like serious. Learn your script, okay? Good God, man.
Involvement this year has been so ice cold. No one feels like they're watching a path unfold. They feel like they're being dragged toward a conclusion WWE already wrote. Her placement on the WrestleMania 41 card, once again in a title match or marquee bout, feels like another example of WWE choosing familiarity over creativity. They have a stacked women's division, brimming with stars who have built themselves up organically, whose moments would mean something. But the Charlotte Flair system operates outside meritocracy. She doesn't need wins on Raw or SmackDown. She doesn't need to stay hot with the crowd. She doesn't need to cut compelling promos or rework her character.
But that's it. I think again, if WWE wants to do it again, just put her in that mid card position. Just let her fight. Ask her it would be fine if she would be fine in the mid card position for a while, holding some title down the line for the mid card division. I wouldn't mind. I think she could push something, but at this point, I don't know. I don't know how to book her, like really. But again, thank you so much for watching. That's what I think about the host, this like course of Charlotte of Flair hate. But thank you so much for watching again. Like and subscribe. Charlotte Flair, why everybody hates her so much. Goodbye.